spiritual awakening to inspire your personal enlightened journey. I'm your host, Megan Mary, international best-selling metaphysical author and founder of Inner Realms Publishing. Let's bring in the light. Welcome. Today we have Pamela Downes. She is a spiritual leader, channel for the Great Council of Light, and visionary founder of Spirit Calling. After 25 years as a successful entrepreneur, Pamela stepped fully into her soul calling, activating higher consciousness and guiding people to embody their light. Her podcasts, meditations, and live transmissions inspire thousands to trust their awakening and remember why they're here. Welcome, Pamela.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Yes.
Mm,
Okay, let's get started with my first question, and that
okay,
is,
let's dive
what does
in.
enlightenment mean to you?
Enlightenment is one of those words that people have a certain idea of what it means, right? Because it's what they've heard. And enlightenment to me is a frequency, it's embodiment, it's living and listening to your spirit and allowing it to be at the forefront of everything that you do. So that's walking your path every single day of your life, but it's your thoughts, it's your words, it's your actions, it's your intention. And I think basically showing up in the best version of yourself continually, and that's always evolving. It's changing always. Every moment, right?
True enough. Yes.
Totally. Mm-hmm.
And true words, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
embodying in thought and speech and action every day and
Mm-hmm.
aligning with the calling. This is why the podcast is here.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's so many of us. I got the call to create Spirit Calling in 2020. I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard Spirit Calling, Spirit Calling. And by then I knew to put a notebook next to my bed. Now I have a recorder, I have my phone, I have all these devices, depending on what I need. And over the course of a year, I was awakening to my channeling abilities. I was remembering myself. I was working with my guides, and I had just done some really profound spiritual work that raised my frequency and allowed me to tap in that way. But over the course of a year, I kept hearing to build a community, to build a portal, actually. And I've been a branding and marketing expert for my entire career. And I'm like, what is a portal? Like, I couldn't identify with that. I'm like, I know what a website is. I know what about, all those things. And I kept hearing that there's going to be a glass ceiling that breaks and people are going to stop in their tracks. They're not going to know who and what they are and what they've believed in. Their world's going to be shifted in an instant and they need a safe place to land. And my calling is to just be myself and to be the witness to others that if you continually stretch yourself, lean in, push yourself into love out of fear, that you will continually expand your soul's purpose and remember who you are. And I do that real time in front of everyone. And I inspire people and I connect with people just through telling my story and showing up. And it's amazing. I mean, I never knew that I would be doing this work. I never knew that this was what my future was going to be. And now, by the time this gets aired, I think I will have told my team I'm selling my marketing and branding firm to my business partner and I'm stepping fully into this 100%. Not that I haven't been, but it's hard to run two companies at the same time. So,
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
when your passion's like all on one side. So,
I
yeah.
get that.
Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of us do. Because we've been bridging both worlds.
Yep.
And now it's go time. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
embodiment.
Yep. I
Mm.
understand. Yeah. I have a background pretty similar, 25
Wow.
years in websites and
Oh, wow.
digital marketing. So
Yeah, you get it.
very much understand that. I understand standing on the bridge, and there's a calling for that too,
Mhm.
because I tried so hard to separate and I tried so hard to pick, and Spirit really wanted me to combine them. It's like,
Mm.
no, you can't separate.
Mm.
And you have to do both, and you'll understand why when you
Yeah,
start to do both.
totally. You don't get it at the time.
Yeah,
And I felt like I kept saying, I'm doing all the things that I'm receiving. I'm leveraging my home equity line of credit to build all this stuff. My one asset after the recession, losing everything. I'm selling my house when you're telling me to sell it because I know that it's the moment that I have to do it because it'll take care of all the things I already, did because you told me to do. And I'm like, why do I have to suffer and be in this branding and marketing firm? Like, because I needed to. Because I needed to. There was a reason. There's something I'm building for someone else, and it's all going to work out. And her timing has to be a certain way. We don't know the grand masterpiece. We don't know it all yet, but we just continually serving our highest and best.
that's
And
right.
yeah, yeah, that's it. That's all we can do. What is the choice? What's the other choice? Right?
We hold space, we agree
Hmm.
to follow the instructions
Absolutely.
without explanation.
Hmm. Hmm. With that strong knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really the challenge of anybody who's going through that spiritual awakening and that
Mm-hmm.
calling, because you're like, yeah, but I can't do that. I don't want to do that. And here's a million reasons why it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a leap of faith, but also
Hmm.
surrender, but also trust. It's all those
Hmm.
things.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, embodiment has just been the word for the last 2 months. And do you know how many times I heard from spiritualists? Well, you just got to jump. You just got to jump. You're never going to be and have all the things in your spiritual business unless you release and jump. And I'm like, I know. I do not I do not know that. I know it in my soul that I will just make the leap one day. It is not upstream, it's downstream. And I will know and I will be guided and that's when it will happen. And I feel like sometimes there's an emotional intelligence, there's a spiritual intelligence. If you've run a firm and been a CEO and had employees and led companies, like you have to use that intelligence too and understand how all those pieces work together. Like you're saying. Um, and that I think sometimes that piece is missing in the spiritual community with entrepreneurs.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are reaching out to help people in that
Mm.
transition and help people embrace their gifts. So let's go back a little bit and tell the audience how you started on your spiritual path and how you came to the great leap that you're about to take.
Yeah, well, it was not overnight, and it was a journey, as most of us have experienced. And it started with small steps and really figuring out what it was that I believed in. And that started way back when I was younger and I was questioning religion and questioning all of the ways of being that were established for me. And I think, and I talk about this often, that we go and travel through decades of our life and seasons of our life. And as we journey into the different seasons of our life, we have more experience, we have more understanding, we have more self power, we understand what we want, what we don't want. And religion did not resonate. And I had children and I couldn't bring it to them. And so I made some big choices that kind of rattled my family members. But they were so strong that I just couldn't deny them. And through that one thing, so many things opened up. My father died. I witnessed him succumb to his alcoholism. I had empathy and forgiveness for how he showed up as my father when I was a kid. And there were moments of like ahas, like understanding the law of attraction and finding Abraham Hicks. And those little nuggets that were fed to me at exactly the precise time that I needed them, that continually allowed me to explore and to realize, to discern, to start to open to my clairs, and then to be able to have the strong senses and the knowings and the hearing and the dreams and the downloads started. And I had, this isn't for everyone, and everyone has a certain feeling about it. For me, it was what I was completely guided to do. And I was handpicked and put into a sacred, small, high conscious group of people who were doing this plant medicine that opened everything up wide. And there was a reason, because there was a timing that had to happen in order for me to be here now. Like it was, things need to happen now, and this is the pathway for it. And in 2020, I had just finished a week-long ayahuasca journey, and all my clairs open. I healed lots of past life trauma, this life trauma, all kinds of realizations and forgiveness. And at the end of that journey, I had a white light shoot through my third eye, fill my whole entire body up with vibration. My teeth were buzzing. Everything was like, bzz, bzz, bzz. And I heard your psychic abilities have been enhanced from this moment forward. Everything will be different. And that's what happened. I started experiencing different frequencies and different beings in the frequencies. And I started raising my frequency and doing really deep soul work and releasing karma from past life and all of the things. And through that work, my frequency was raising, and I didn't know it was the Great Council of Light, but we were both working to this bridge of communication. And that started with me trying to channel their energies through me and trying to harmonize with my vocal cords and my physicality. And I mean, it was a lot. So I did that a couple of years. And the downloads and the visions and the premonitions and the global visions that I had for our future grew stronger and stronger. And that's when I heard to create Spirit Calling, and I built it and I launched it in January of 24. So we'll be almost 2 years. But now I was telling someone today, I used to say I want to touch 1 million souls. Like that was some big number. And where you are on your journey, it feels big. Just like you need to create a portal for humankind. Like, what's that, really? And now it's repositioning myself, looking at the future. It's 1 billion souls. 1 million's already been done. Like, I've already reached people on podcasts and, through all my messages and my platforms. And it's incredible. So it gets more exciting the more I lean in. And it's turned into this incredible DNA, like code activation, energy transmission. I just got an upgrade while I was working with the guys for the last hour. So this new technology was put in last Wednesday, and it just happened again. So it's just up leveling to reach humanity where they are at as they're up leveling. And it's incredible. It's cool to witness this. So I think me, I don't know, 15 years ago would look at me now and be like, what? You're doing what? you know, we can't look forward, we can look back. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of resonance in that explanation in the meandering journey that you went on.
yeah,
And the progression of awareness and opening and remembering and all
yeah,
of that I experienced. I talk a lot about, a couple years ago being this major break, but of course there was a lot of other things that happened from the time I was a child
hmm,
that eventually when I write the memoir, you'll see it all in perfect linear fashion, but there's so many layers, right? And
yeah,
even today, as we're recording it on the 28th, there is some major magnetic human resonance, lots of stuff coming
yeah,
in
totally.
today where I have just had to multiple times say, wait a minute, I gotta stop
Uh,
everything. And I can feel like all of these like old memories that are like
yeah,
coming up and being
mm,
dissolved and all these things that I'm like, whoa, there is a shift
hmm,
happening right now.
yeah. Your soul is releasing and clearing. That's
Hmm.
incredible.
There's,
Hmm,
yeah, there's so much. And every day more people are waking up.
hmm,
And I think that everyone that was called to create a space for those people we really are the guides. I'm not going to say leaders because we're more just kind of walking each other
hmm,
through it. But everybody who's answered that call and created that space is helping
yeah,
so many, like you said.
yeah, totally. And it's our time.
Hmm. If you are enjoying my podcast and are intrigued by dreams and stories of spiritual awakening, I would like to personally invite you to explore my international best-selling metaphysical trilogy, Witches of Maple Hollow. Like a mystical fairy tale, these fall themed mysteries weave cozy supernatural fantasy into enchanting tales of magic and self discovery. Start with Book 1, The Dream Haunters. The Book Life Prize calls it packed to the brim with surprise portals, ancient traditions, and dream worlds. Then dive into the elusive nature of reality in the dream mirrors. And finally, unravel ancestral riddles beyond time and space in the dream dimensions. Get your exclusive signed copies today at meganmary.com. Stop by the store while you're there and grab your dream journals, cozy blankets, pillows, candles, and more. And don't forget, they also are available in audiobook. Come visit me in Maple Hollow.
It's our time in so many ways. You know, there's so many cycles, 9 years closing, 1 year starting,
Yeah.
divine reciprocity, so many things working in our favor. And it's a beautiful thing to witness because I channel a message every month for our community. And last month was honoring the different versions of yourself throughout your life. They talk all about it and having empathy, compassion, love for seeing that you were able to show up exactly where you were at those moments in your life. This month is about embodiment. No longer are we talking, watching, reading. It is active embodiment, living it, putting it into practice, actually healing and living in a way where you are healing your frequency and raising your frequency and putting that frequency out into the world because the future is here already. And it's our job to align to it. But that's exciting to see people in my community healing, receiving all these energy activations and hearing how they're benefiting from it. We're in a new timeline.
Oh,
Everything
absolutely.
it's shifted so much. It's just incredible to watch. I mean, August Lionsgate was profound. It was suffering and releasing and clearing and like it was incredible. And
Mm-hmm.
we all like surfaced on the other side of that new,
Mm-hmm.
completely new. And if you didn't experience it, then I'm sure that something is coming. But there's so many that have, and it's happening more and more quickly, very, very quickly for people in my community and myself, even, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and one of the ways for me obviously is dream work, and I heard you mention dreams a little bit earlier. Of course, I get downloads all the time, whatever you call them, but one of the ways is many times dreams, but also that liminal space in between waking and
Yeah.
dreaming.
Mm.
That seems to be where they jam it all in.
They do.
And yeah,
It's so funny. I'm like,
yeah.
wait a minute, I'll remember that. They're like, no, 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 go write it down. I'm like, no, I'll remember it. They're like, go write it down. I'm like, okay. And
Mm-hmm.
the most beautiful title of a book is there, you know, and you're like, you go look at it later and you're like, oh my God. Oh my.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so many things. Like I get global updates all the time. Magnitude 9 or greater. I don't use those words. Earthquake with the tsunami warning. And they told me all this. And right after that, the 8.8 happened with the tsunami warning. I'm like, that's not it. That's not the one they're talking about. They would have said that. They would have said that. They talked about the events that have happened over the last couple of months. And they do that. People wonder, you know, why do they do that? Because they teach about frequency and they tell you there's things coming. They want you to be grounded, prepared. They don't want you to be caught up in the wave of frequency that's in the experiences that are being created for us. And that's primarily it. You know, it's a positive thing. It's like a caring, loving parent
Mm.
continually trying to teach us about love and frequency.
Mm, yeah, to hold the frequency
To hold it.
throughout the turmoil,
Yeah.
to not buy into the mind
Yeah.
virus
Hmm.
of all the chaos that is being pushed on us from the outside world, to
Yeah.
distract us from understanding that we're actually living in a resonance chamber
Yeah.
and that we actually can control our reality with our own frequency. But when we get
Yeah.
wrapped up in the other frequencies, they are frequency vacuums.
Yeah.
And they take our frequencies from us and lower our vibration. And then we dwell in the doubt zone, which is where they want
Hmm.
everyone. Well, I say they, and I'm referring to two different people, but two
Yeah.
different groups. But there is, I think, opposing forces in that way because there is the light and the dark, but there's also this ignorance being bliss and kind of people who get wrapped up in separation mentality
Hmm.
and lower vibrations of fear and doubt. And
Hmm.
it's almost easier to buy into that than it is to hold your own higher frequency
Hmm.
because that frequency requires trust and knowing, and it's hard to prove.
Yeah. And
So
the other
it's
thing, the
hard
other one is
to,
safe
yeah,
and comfortable.
yeah, it's not safe, but it's comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
comfortable.
Right. We're not safe in that
It's
sense.
just
Yeah.
familiar.
Familiar is the good word. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. We were just talking about that on a podcast earlier today. Somebody referred to it as they have like dust on them, and they have like some sort of a magic spell on them, and they're not able to break out. And I'm like, well, yeah, you could explain it that way also.
Hmm.
I see behavior sometimes recently, and I'm just like, I can't even use your discernment. Like you're out in nature, and the fresh air is the best thing for you, and they're still in fear, and that's their comfortable
Yeah.
spot because anything other than that is hard and challenging, requires faith and trust and
Hmm.
leaning in and all the things. Yeah. But times are changing. That's what I say. Times are a changing, shifts
Yeah.
are coming.
Yeah. And the call really is, I think, to find that solace within yourself, whether it's
Hmm.
through meditation or journaling or
Hmm.
just quiet introspective time. Because when we do that, we find that center in ourselves that is very stable, that has all the knowing. When we connect to that, we're like, why was I even questioning? But then you'll
Yeah.
lose it, you know,
Yeah.
and then you're back to questioning.
Right.
But the more that you can connect to that, the longer you can sustain that, then it's like, okay, none of that matters.
Hmm.
All of that outside chaos.
It changes because you see it for what it is,
Hmm.
especially now. And when you see everyone fighting and social, like these unnecessary actions, really. And the guides always say, if you're in a situation, just politely leave the room, politely leave the conversation, like honor and hold yourself in high regard. Really treat yourself that way and know that if you are using discernment and you're trying to approach your days, your experiences, all of the things with intention, that you actually get to do that. So you get to a point, I think, where you start witnessing yourself inside of spaces and places and with people. And you honor what you're hearing, and then you flex a muscle of that and you continue to do it. And suddenly you make changes in your life. But you have to get there. You have to have the experiences to get there.
Hmm. Yep. And that viewing yourself is very much part of that experience where you're shedding the ego and then you realize that you're no longer yourself or who you thought you were. And then you start to see everybody a little bit differently and
Yeah.
you get this 1,000-foot benevolent perspective. That's the best way I
Mm-hmm.
can describe it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Where you kind of you understand both sides and there is no longer right or wrong
Mm-hmm.
because everybody's motivation is the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's really zen. It's really interesting once you notice that and you're like, okay, yeah, I can't say either way here because all of a sudden you see the entirety of consciousness.
Yeah. And you also see people's wounds,
Mm-hmm.
especially inside of a family. And you see the interaction of specific family members and their wounds within each other. And then you start to see, and this is often our, as disruptors in our families, in our physical families, in our spiritual families, you start to see like how you're so different. And, and because you see the wounds. And it, it sometimes is hard because you want someone to see their own and you want to help them so bad, but they can't. And that's why we have communities, because we need to be able to share and talk and, support and love on each other, because we're not able to share our realizations and all these things with sometimes our family members. It's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. It's often the case. That's what I hear. I can't talk to my husband about this. I can't talk to my, like, da, 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 da. But you can come into the community and you've got a whole group of people here who are going to be like, oh my God, I went through that, or I understand that, or here's what I did, or let's connect and talk later. And like, that's so valuable. So many of us, including myself, um, we didn't have anyone to talk to when we were on the beginning of our journey.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't.
Right. Yeah. And that's part of the reason that I created the podcast, so that people who are out on their own, still on their own, but can be a fly on the wall,
Yeah.
listen to everyone's experience, listen to us commiserate about what we struggled with, and not feel like they are all alone in
Yeah.
that experience
Yeah.
because everybody's different, but it helps to understand and to resonate with someone else's struggles. Then you feel like, oh, well, I don't feel so bad because I thought I was just really falling off the deep end. And now I understand
Mm-hmm.
because everyone else has also gone through this.
Yeah. They understand what my pain is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, in your experience as a channel, what are some of the more profound transmissions or realizations that you've experienced?
That's a big question. I channel so often. I channel every month for our community. And then I work one on one with people. I channel guidance for them to help them in their life, to help heal, their soul body, to help them realize their full potential. So many times people come to me and they say they immediately, I want to understand my soul purpose. I want to understand my soul purpose. And there's healing that has to happen for you to understand it, for you to even align to it. You have to raise your frequency. And I think with the Great Council of Light, yeah, there's tremendously amazing messages about religion, about the world, about the creator beings, about frequency, about dimensions, about like so many different things. But the one thing, and it's so basic, I mean, we've been talking about it all this whole entire time, is that people really just need to understand that they have a frequency. And a lot of time they might think they understand what that means, but it's really like understanding your individual experience and how does that affect you, and what are the things that you're doing, what are the things that you're consuming, what are the things that who are you sharing your life with, what is the work that you're doing, what is your relationship like, all of that. And really measuring it on a scale and like, giving it a number, like grading it. And am I able to improve that, and make that number higher and make that experience better as a whole, individually and then as a whole? Because people don't understand that they are magnificent. You said it, creator beings. We create our reality. Every single choice that we have is either love or fear. So we get to choose every time. That's the free will that we have. And that's the learning and growing that our soul asked for when it came down here, as the guys say, joyfully. To be the betrayer, to be the joy, like to be every role that there is in many different lifetimes. And that, you have everything inside of you to have everything that you desire in this world, that you are creating it with every choice. So I think that oftentimes people don't understand that the future that they want is already there. They just need to align to it. Align to it. I mean, it's so elementary. Abraham Master talks about the dial on the radio, but it's so basic that maybe if you put it in the package of the future is in a package and it's out there, you want to tune to it. So every decision, everything that you're doing, every word, every thought, everything, you want it to be at the highest and best intention for yourself and for that future that you want. And you have to give yourself grace, because if you didn't make the right choice, you get to make it again and again and again and again. And, and realize what's before you. And that's all part of the journey.
Hmm. Yeah, I think our biggest challenge is continually choosing the higher
Hmm.
ground because I like to say I'm glass half full, but I'm can be just as glass half empty as anybody.
Yeah.
And I kind of have these opposing sides in my head where one will be continually complaining and one is like, Come on, stop that, everything's fine, all is well. Why are you
Yeah.
complaining so much,
Yeah.
And I constantly have this conversation going on where there's the light and the dark, the optimistic and the pessimistic.
You have to.
Yeah, and so with every second, it's a challenge to
Mhm.
continually choose that because we have down days, we have challenges, we have difficulties, we have health problems, we have tragedies, and we have our emotional balance and our nervous balance and all these things that don't want to cooperate necessarily. So even if you're mentally saying, I'm going to think for my highest good and I'm going to keep positive thoughts, there's always all those challenges coming in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's our nature to
Yeah.
not necessarily live in a constant state of that perfect vibration. But I
Yeah.
think it's our challenge to try to.
Yeah. And have grace. Listen, you can have a pity party for yourself. Fine, do it. All right. But just pull your butt out of it and
Hmm.
get yourself back on track. Who
Yeah.
doesn't have that? That's the human experience.
Yeah.
Like for me, I worry about things. I'm a worrier. I'm a worrier. I'm also a
Hmm.
perfectionist. So I need to know how everything is going to work all the time. That's not how it works. I have to put my best energy into it. I have to create the clear pathways inside of my mind so I resonate in a frequency that allows whatever's already there to find its way to me, you know?
Hmm.
But if I have like right now, I'm going through a tremendously stressful period of my life, closing down a business and strategic planning for my other one. And like my mom's moving and like 100 things are happening like everybody else at the same time. My nervous system starts to go zoom, zoom, zoom. I get the zings on my arm and all the things. And I just have to say, I'm going to get through this one
Hmm.
step at a time.
Hmm.
One step at a time. And what do? I go ask my beloved for a really grounding hug. I go out in nature without my technology and I say hello to each and every stinking tree. And I get myself into a different space. I put the music on that makes me so happy. I go take a shower and I love the water and I call the guides in. Like, what are your tools to allow
Hmm.
you to get that frequency position back to where it needs to be? But you're going to have the days, the times, the moments. It's just part of it. I mean, we wouldn't be human if we didn't have them.
Right. So grace is key.
Grace, grace, grace.
And allowing yourself to feel the feels because when you're going through a spiritual awakening, it is not
It's not
all
rainbows and
no,
unicorns.
no, no. And there's a lot of tears and there's a lot of pain in that shedding and in that discovery and in that realization. And you have to allow that.
Yeah,
Don't
you have to
fight
allow
that.
that.
That's important. It's an important part of the process. Well, if there were closing words that you would like to pass along to our listeners.
Yeah. I think I would just say that no matter what comes in your way, you can always call on your team. It's all around you for support, love, and guidance. I think sometimes people forget that. Even your deceased loved ones, even your deceased animals, like whatever it is, I call in the energy of the trees constantly to help me ground, constantly to help me ground. I look at them from my window. Um, you're not alone in the physical world, but in the metaphysical world, in the non-physical world, there's so many things around you to support you. And so you have that ability. So utilize it and just keep moving forward with the best intention for your path. And you'll be great and you can do it. You'll look back and you'll go, wow, look what I did. And that gives you courage and strength to move through another hard decision into the next pool of possibilities to see what you can create. Because it's freaking awesome. Once you make the choice and you see, like, it's amazing. You keep doing it over and over and over again.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Well, where can people find you if they want to
Hmm.
find out more about your community and the
Thank
guidance that
you.
you offer?
Thank you so much. The community that I built is spirit-calling.com. I'm very active inside of it. We have weekly events. I create a custom sound healing every month for our community, a channeled message for our community every month. I lead calls. We have events and courses and workshops. It's awesome. Um, I'm doing right now an Awakening Accelerator Mastermind. So there's a special way to be with the council every single month and receive these energy transmissions. It's amazing. People are having these accelerated awakenings, more vivid dreams, more alignments, heightening their frequency and healing their soul body. And I do one-on-one soul path coaching to help people uncover their purpose. But my social platforms are all Spirit Calling Pamela. So Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And I post videos and I share and do cool stuff on my YouTube. So go check me out and go follow my page. And I have a pineal gland activation meditation. That's the bomb. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It's channeled by the council, and they came in and infused energy while I was recording it. It's as if they're leading the meditation. And I have a womb activation that they gave me to do, and it's helping women of all ages heal their womb. Yeah, it's incredible. Incredible. Trapped
Oh,
emotions, memories are all coming up and being cleared.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will link all of that in the show notes so
Thank you.
everybody can go check it
Thank
out.
you.
And thank you very much for being here today, Pamela, and telling your story. I really
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening. Did you enjoy this episode? Be sure to subscribe to make sure you never miss an episode. Head over to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button as well to be part of my growing community. Are you ready to take the next step in your spiritual journey? Don't miss out on the new Dream Empowerment programs. Unique opportunities for you to unlock your inner wisdom, discover your authenticity, align with your higher self, and bring abundance into your life. If you'd like your dream or awakening story featured on my show, submit it today. Your dreams have the power to inspire and enlighten other women on their journey. Visit meganmary.com to find out more.